The headlines say the market is finished, that Trump is about to trigger a full-blown recession. But history tells a different story. Every major crash, 2000, 2008, 2020, followed a pattern. And right now, in 2025, those patterns are colliding again. What if the next big crash isn't random at all, but a cycle that's been repeating for decades? Let me show you the 4 echoes of history and why the next 3 years could shock everyone. The 2008 parallel, the calm before the collapse. Let's go back to 2006. Experts were warning the housing bubble will burst. But instead of falling, the market kept climbing, higher and higher. By 2008, stocks had risen so much, the crash didn't just hurt investors, it erased nearly every gain from the last 4 years. That's how bubbles work. They don't just end, they snap back and take everything with them. And here we are today. Once again, analysts are shouting, valuations are stretched, AI is overhyped, yet instead of collapsing, the market keeps running. It feels eerily familiar. The warnings are there, but the music hasn't stopped. Not yet. The dot-com parallel, the AI mania. Now, let's rewind even further. The late 1990s, the internet boom. Back then, dot-com stocks were unstoppable. Everyone said this is the future, and they were right. But the hype ran far ahead of reality. The Nasdaq doubled in less than 2 years, and in March 2000, it all came crashing down. But here's the twist. Before that final collapse, there was a dip in 1998. Investors thought it was over, but the dip didn't kill the rally. It fueled the last explosive run. Sound familiar? In March 2025, we had a dip, and now stocks are surging again. If history repeats, this could be the beginning of one last spectacular rally, carrying us into 2026, maybe 2027, until the bubble bursts again. The Trump factor, chaos as a strategy. And in the middle of this, one man, Donald Trump. In his first term, Trump fueled the market with tax cuts and re-deregulation. But he also shook investors with trade wars and tariffs. One tweet and markets moved billions. Now, in 2025, the stakes are even higher. Tariffs on Canada, retaliation, steel prices rising. It feels like deja vu, history echoing the 1930s when tariffs helped turn a recession into the Great Depression. But this isn't just about trade. Geopolitics is shifting. China, Russia, India, a new alliance through BRICS. For the first time in decades, the US dollar's dominance is under threat. And here's the dangerous part. Trump thrives on unpredictability. If he feels America slipping, he won't just watch, he'll act. Some even believe he wants a market crash, not to destroy wealth, but to force the Federal Reserve's hand. Because when markets collapse, the Fed cuts rates, and lower rates mean America's $36 trillion debt suddenly becomes cheaper to manage. To some, that would be chaos. To Trump, it could be strategy. The election crash cycle, the dark rhythm of power. Now let's look at the pattern almost nobody talks about. In 2000, Clinton handed power to Bush. The dot-com bubble burst. In 2008, Bush handed power to Obama. The financial crisis exploded. In 2020, Trump handed power to Biden. The pandemic crash rocked the world. Every time the presidency flipped parties, the markets collapsed. And here we are again. In 2028, Trump's second term ends. He can't run again. Power must shift. If the pattern holds, the crash will come as his presidency winds down. And with Trump's unpredictability, the final act could be something no one sees coming. Not just a correction, not just a bear market, but a reset of the entire money system. The end or the beginning? So where does this leave us? If history repeats, the market isn't done yet. We could still see an incredible rally before the fall. But when the crash comes, it won't be random. It will be the result of bubbles, history, and one man's choices. The only question is, will you panic like everyone else, or will you be ready when the cycle turns again?